Hi everyone, welcome to Homerino Collectibles, and today I'm going to be reviewing the DC Universe Classics Azrael Batman and Batman 2-pack. I got this a little while back, and it is one of my favourite storylines. This is Nightfall, as you can see, which is a part of the Night's End storyline. So, just a quick overview. Bane breaks Batman's back, which some people are obviously in the know about now because of the third movie, but essentially he breaks his back, so he's out of action. So Azrael, who is already a character in DC at that point, but I've got Azrael #1, and really that book only started after this storyline, so this really made Azrael really popular. But essentially Batman said to Azrael, "There you go, fill my shoes," sort of thing. So he gave him the mantle of Batman, and I love the look of the Azrael Batman suit, it's awesome. And basically he starts to go a little bit OTT, a little over the top, and Batman is forced to take up the role again for his own safety. He wants him to stop being Batman, so yeah, that's really awesome. And this red colour scheme is from the last book. There's one point where basically Azrael is set on fire, or he's in fire anyway, because Azrael's got flamethrowers on his arms, and basically he sets himself on fire essentially. And I can't remember exactly. I don't know if he's like thrust into water, and then when he comes out of the water, when he emerges, he's just red. So he was blue, and now he's red. So you can get that blue figure still, and this red one, I'm not sure if you can get it on its own, but it's mainly for this 2-pack. So if we just take a look at the rest of the box here, you've got your standard DC Universe Classics 2-pack sort of packaging on the sides with the different members of the Justice League. And on the back here we have bios and everything, so if you want to pause and read those, then you can do. The Batman one's the same as always, but you can go ahead and read these if you wish. And then you just got the picture on the back. So it's very nice. You know, on the bottom you just got your normal stuff, MattyCollector.com and all that safety sort of stuff, and that's it. So normally at this point I would say let's open it up and take a look, but in this instance I already have some opened up. So here's Azrael and here's Batman, and this is how I have them displayed on my shelf in a kind of fighting pose. And wow, you know, I'm really impressed with this set. I saw it at a bargain and I just had to have it. It was on Amazon, if you must know, and it is higher price now. It's like 40 or 50 pounds for the set, and it was like between 20 and 30 when I had it. So real bargain for an amazing figure. And then what some people would say is not so amazing, but I really like, because I don't actually have an older DC Universe Classics Batman, so it allows me to have that mold. So it's really cool. So first of all, let's just take a quick look at Batman, and we'll come back to the main meat of the review later on. So here's Batman. If I just straighten him up here, I'm just going to get straight into more of a size comparison sort of thing. Basically, this is the older style look of Batman, and I don't mean just the colours, I mean the actual mold itself. So if I can get him to stand up straight here, here is the Batman Unlimited mold, but this is the All-Stars version of the New 52 6-inch Batman. So they moved from this to this, and now obviously they're not making any anymore, but there's the difference in the two molds if you don't know about it already. So basically it is the 1970s colouring look of Batman. The storyline came out in the 90s, and he's sporting his blue very nicely. Now, if you already have this Batman, this is essential for any collector, because as you can see, he has this awesome bat logo on his chest, and it is in the comic. It's a really small portion of the comic, you know, it's not a big deal that he had his chest cut, but it's awesome that they decided to put it on the figure, just making this something extra, not just a sort of stocking filler sort of thing of the pack. You know, it makes you actually want it for the Batman as well, because of that difference. And collectors, you know, absolutely adore this thing because it is different. Now, a lot of people say there's so many Batmans out there, you know, you don't need more Batman. But you know, if you got differences like that, for me, you know, he's my favourite DC character anyway. So for me, the more the better. And when they add something else like that, it's pretty cool. So I'm not sure if you can see on camera too great on the grey, but on the blue you certainly can. Here is actually, it's not, well, there is a certain amount of shadow on this, but it is actually black weathering and shadow detail been put in there, which is really, really cool. I do like the addition of things like that. Your cape, it is more of just a solid blue. I'd say it has got a little bit of tone difference in there, but really not a lot. You're going to notice as well, right on the bottom here, you can see slight little yellowy bits just on there, and there's one there as well. That's just where it touches the box, and obviously this isn't new, so it's been in the box a long time, and it's just took a bit of colour from the box basically. But you probably could get that off, I just can't really be bothered. Not too much detail on the face, it is just one solid skin tone. But I really, really do like the design of the cowl. You got a bit of shading on the top. Nice white eyes. You know, I like the mould and everything of the face. I just wish that they'd maybe painted the lips or anything. But basically, that's Batman. And a quick look at the articulation. Head moves left, right, up a good amount. Mine is stiff, and I like that because my New 52 Batman, if you saw that review, or if you want to go check that out, his head is quite loose. You know, your arms can go up, if I just get it in focus, the arms can go up this much, and they go for 360. You've got a swivel at the bicep, 90 degrees at the elbow, you've got a swivel at the wrist, and the hands are actually quite soft rubber, so you can actually open the hands very well if you want to put bigger accessories in. This pack doesn't come with any, and then this one is actually the same. It's a bit more stiff, it's a bit more closed, but there you go. A little paint defect there. I've got a bit of grey on the gauntlet, but it doesn't matter too much. It's quite small, and then obviously you have the ab crunch, which again on mine is quite stiff, but it is there. You've got the waist swivel, the belt does not hinder it. You've got the legs that come out, forward, back, a little hindered by the cape. It is quite a stiff cape, it doesn't bend too much. You've got the bend at the knee, you've got the swivel at the thigh, and then you have the standard ankle. So that's it for the articulation of Batman. I really do adore this mould, and just the way that they've done the shading and everything. It's subtle, but it works, and then it's obviously made different by that slice across his chest, which just makes it that little bit cooler. But that's it for Batman. Let's move on to this guy, Azrael Batman. Now this is an incredible mould, but first warning, if you are going to order it online, remember, just like a lot of figures, he's got a lot of soft plastic. Things may be warped, so you're probably better off going around looking at packages and whatnot. As you can see, these are supposed to be like out here, and they are sort of curled up in the packaging around. You know, these are more opened up, but these are more, you know, curved down just because they're being pressed against the package when it's in there. And these wings on the back, I've seen some people's who aren't packaged properly, and they're like, they're really curly, you know, they're like a banana sort of thing. Mine are straight, and my brother's in that package right there is straight, so that's fine. And then you've got these really, really soft rubbery bits, which don't matter too much because they are so soft that when you get it out of the package they'll bend straight back anyway. But if they are badly warped or anything, remember, they are extremely soft. You could literally pull those off. So if you applied heat or anything to try and get them back, I don't recommend giving any excessive force whatsoever. You know, you can bend them. This is just lightly brushing my hands against them. So if you were to try and, you know, pull it round, you will pull it off. It's more of a rubber than a plastic. You will just pull them off, so be extremely careful with those. But that's it for potential warnings or anything. I would just recommend, if you find it in a shop and there's more than one, just take a look at all of them and just see if you can find one that is better than others. So one of the things that he has, which is obviously a very unique feature, I mean pretty much everything here is newly molded, but a unique feature is obviously these. Now these would be, I think he had like batarangs and stuff in here, and they'd come down. It's like a kind of ammo belt from his back, or it's like power, because these gauntlets, you know, he can shoot flames out of them. He shoots batarangs. He's got all sorts of gadgets in there. So that's either ammo or power or something. And they, I wouldn't say get warped or anything, but you know, because you can put them back there, you can put them out here, you can do whatever you want with them, really. Just obviously be careful with these as well, because you don't want to snap them out of the gauntlets or anything. But this thing is incredible, so I'm going to give you a close-up of the face here. It's all red, and then you've got the nice black. I mean, I'm so glad that they did put that detailing in there to really break it up, because otherwise it would just be a solid red head that wouldn't look too great. But the fact that they've put the shading just around the edges there really brings it out, and it's pretty cool. I just wish that they had some shading in that line there and across the lines that run down his sort of wings cape thing. The actual Azrael Batman has like he has a cape, but these kind of make the cape sort of thing. If you've played Arkham Origins and you have that skin, that is a bit more what it's like. You know, it's the cape, and it incorporates this sort of design into it, but they do sort of fold up like this, which is pretty cool. This bit here, this entire red bit on the chest, is a softer plastic, as you can see on the front as well, with his bat symbol, which is cool. These are quite soft too. They're hardish, but because of their size, they can move around. You could probably pull them off as well if you put enough force on. You've got these bits here, which are rubber plastic as well. Really awesome detail. You've got the classic Azrael sort of chainmail under there from his Crusader sort of looking outfit. Loads of gold on this. It looks absolutely awesome. You've got silver abs there, which just comes down into the crotch a little bit. You've got the belt, which I love that it's not actually connected. That looks pretty cool. Although on his actual suit, it is like a sort of more across his ab, but you can't really do that with that ab articulation there, so that doesn't really matter. And then these legs are actually newly molded, not just because you've got these on there, but he does actually have double jointed knees too, and that brings me to articulation. So as we're down here, let's start at the bottom and move our way up. So you have the standard ankle articulation there, and then you've got the double jointed knees, which is really cool because you can get it right up there, but it can hinder his ability to stand, and I'll get onto that in a second. But you've got the thigh swivel, which is a little looser than I'd like. You've got the legs that move up and down and then in and out. You have waist articulation, you have the ab articulation, and then you have in the arms less than I would like, but if you want to have all this awesome accurate molded detail, there's no way that you can have the kind of articulation that you want. Now obviously, as I mentioned, these are soft rubbery plastic, so it moves out the way to a degree, but there's only so far that you can move those. You can move them out, and then you have no swivel at the bicep because it's actually like right at the bottom of the bicep, near the elbow, which is kind of a ball swivel socket, whatever you want to call that. And then you have not quite 90 degrees, but it is there. And then you have on the wrist some movement, but you know, you can only turn it so far really. It's enough though. You don't want, you know, you're not really going to want to force it around and do that, are you? Why would you need him to do that? And then the actual bit that this connects to, the ammo belt thing, that's sort of rubbery and can sort of rotate on there, so you can put that where you want. And then the hand does have a slight up and down, but ever so slight. And then the head, because of this neck armour here, It can only turn a little bit left and right. It is a rubbery plastic, so you can force it out the way a bit, but not too much. And then it looks down a tiny little bit, but barely anything, and then up more, but still it's not too much really. So overall, this guy is more about the mould and getting that accuracy than, you know, articulation really. I mean, it's got great leg articulation, and as you can see, if I do stand him up, he's great like this, if I just get him in a bit of focus. But because of those double jointed knees and slightly loose, or at least on mine anyway, ankles and the thigh swivel and everything, if you do get him into a pose like I had it at the start, he can be a little hard to stand. And then obviously you've got all this weight on his back as well and everything. He can be a little hard to stand if you've got one like mine that has slightly looser joints in the legs. As you can see, he does just want to try and go back, but I'm just going to see if I can get him to stand. I don't really care about a pose or anything right now. I just want to get him standing up straight. So there's Azrael Batman, and there is Batman. As you can see, normal figures are about 6.5 inches, so he's obviously a good 7 to 8 inches. So basically what you're getting here is a slightly colour changed normal Batman, and then you've got this awesome beast over here, which is a repaint of an earlier wave Azrael, but you're getting that other variant which a lot of people wanted. So basically it is a 2-pack of repaints, but it is a 2-pack of repaints that I think every collector out there that loves this storyline absolutely needs. And tune in next week for some more Marvel and DC reviews, and I will have that Transformers set coming soon, and I'm also going to carry on today with my Iron Man build, so stay tuned, subscribe if you want to see any of that, and I'll see you next time guys. Thanks for watching.